What's up, YouTube? This is Jim Afanis, aka Viper Magic, with a little gameplay footage today from Towerfall. It's actually been rebranded from the original Ouya exclusive release, and it is now called Towerfall Ascension. Pretty much the same game. They've obviously added more stuff and more bells and whistles, but the core gameplay remains the same. I got this game for free as part of the PlayStation Plus July drop, so I got this game, and I also got Strider. This is on PlayStation 4. Although the graphics could be a little deceiving, it is stylized in that 8-bit kind of retro look. That seems to be the new norm these days, with games going back to the original graphic style. I personally don't have any qualms with it. I think the gameplay on this particular game is good enough where you don't really need to have that stylized art. Whether it doesn't really hinder the gameplay, I guess I should say. So this game is basically a kind of action combat arena game. The objective is to kill all the enemies or your friends. Since I am playing by myself right now, we don't have any other humans to play against, although this is what is most likely branded as like a couch co-op, where you and your buddies kind of sit and just have a 4-player throwdown. Again, since I'm here by myself, well, I have 2 dogs, but they're not really much help other than scratching and making random noises in the background. I'm just playing against the computer on this kind of challenge trial mode or event. I think they call it quest. But basically, just wave after wave of enemies appear in each kind of stylized area. You'll notice that some of the core gameplay mechanics on top of the bow and arrow, which you can shoot in any direction, is that your arrows are actually limited in supply. You'll notice above my character there's a little icon, or icons in this case. I believe I have 4 arrows now. I just shot one. You have to go get your own arrows back after you shoot them, which does add quite a variety to this game, and it does really kind of change up how your gameplay is, because if your arrows are out of reach or in the wrong location, you're going to have a really hard time getting them. So not only do you have to kind of mark a good shot, you have to make sure that your shots are, recoverable. If you shoot straight up in the air and it lands on the roof and you're in the kind of the middle part of the map, it may be a little harder to get there. Now, they have allowed combat to flow no matter what, because you can jump on enemies' heads. So you'll notice that there's a lot of times where I actually jump on an enemy's head and I leave them, you can kill them that way. So if you're completely out of arrows, it's not like you're absolutely helpless, but arrows are the preferred method of combat in this game, for sure. You notice that the maps do cycle around from top to bottom and left to right. That does really change a lot of the gameplay mechanic, in the sense that in a traditional game, you would know if someone was below you, for example, that you were probably safe on the higher grounds. But since everything loops around, and since the top becomes the bottom and the left becomes the right, it's very important to have a lot of situational awareness. And you'll actually see what I'm talking about here in a minute as I play through this map. I do not complete this level. I just get swarmed by the amount of enemies in all directions, and I don't really have anywhere to retreat to. So that is actually a really cool feature in the game that I do like. Combat, it works well. On the AI, not against the other people, but on the AI, if you don't do a complete drop right on the top center of their head, they do have some wiggle room where they can melee attack you for an instant kill. Although really all kills in this game are instant kills, since you don't really have individual health per se. Those blue crystals on the upper left-hand corner, I died in the last video, but those blue crystals in the upper left-hand corner aren't your health, they're actually your lives. So every time you die, you respawn and you lose one of those crystals, and obviously that's your count, and when you're dead, you're dead. You'll notice in a few instances that Grim Reaper looking guy just kind of got me there. That was the kind of point-blank melee I was talking about. I do have, not me, I mean everybody has this dodge mechanic that they can utilize. So if you're playing against one of your friends and he lines you up in a shot, basically dead to rights, you can actually shoot, or you can actually counter one of your one of those attacks, and it also works against AI as well. So there are times that I'm able to dodge close attacks and get away. Some of the birds, I'm actually a lot better on those for some reason, although they do kind of push you into the corner. But each enemy does have pretty standard attack patterns as far as just kind of walking towards you and maybe jumping or, you know, poking around a little bit. But it's not so much that an individual enemy is hard. It's when you get swarmed very quickly from multiple types. The hard guy in this level was actually this kind of demon dude who shoots these tornadoes at you, and he's hard to take down. In between levels, both on single player and on multiplayer, you'll find these treasure chests. I just opened one. There are some random power-ups in this game that are actually a lot of fun. They include more arrows, bomb arrows, this invulnerability bubble shield, which kind of gives you a free hit against you so you don't die immediately. Those angel wings, which you can tap and kind of glide around. And those do add a lot of diversity to the gameplay as far as your, you know, kind of racing to get some of those. Because some of those, I'm not going to say they're game changers, but opening a treasure chest and finding 3 arrows or 2 new bomb arrows, they're pretty nice. And in some of the levels, either the top to bottom wraparound or the left to right wraparound are walled off by explosive area or crumbling rocks that can only be destroyed by the bomb arrows. So there is some advantage to getting those walls, kind of open up the level. In addition to the quest and the versus mode, there's a trial mode where there's these kind of timed challenge maps. And as I close this video, just going to show off some of the archives. It keeps a record of everything you've done. Mine isn't too much to brag about, but it is there for everyone to take a look at. Anyways, just wanted to show some of this game. I think it's great. It's Towerfall Ascension. It's currently free to play, or free to own if you have PlayStation Plus and a PlayStation 4. But if you don't, I highly recommend you check this one out. I'm having a ton of fun with it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys on the other side.